Welcome back to another edition of the podcast. Eric, it's great to have you in the studio.
That's great to be here.
Eric, you own Mountain Hops Brewhouse downtown and off of Burlington. If you had to drink one beer for the rest of your life that represented who you are as a brewer and the entrepreneur that you are, what would that beer be and why?
Well, I think on that, I could drink anything Belgian all day long. That's my style, but for sure it'd be a German style hefeweizen.
Yeah.
That's kind of the first craft beer I ever drank,
Mm-hmm.
and that sent me on this crazy adventure. So, it's just brings me back to where I started in the process. So,
all right,
that'd definitely be it.
Yeah, that's definitely my favorites have always been Belgian. That's where I got started in the craft beer scene. I've never been a huge fan of American beers. Sorry to disappoint people, but I've always been more of if it's a craft beer, obviously a local craft American beer, that's different. But
I agree.
The big ones, Budweiser and all that stuff, that's never been my thing at all. And but some good Belgian beer. But I'm more on the darker, thicker, very stout beer, or porterhouse. That's always been my thing. But yeah, if I had to drink one, and that's usually when I go in, and if they don't have a stout or a porterhouse, then I'll just say, I'm good, thanks.
Yeah.
So.
And you won't find that very much in the summer, but
yeah,
sometimes you do.
For sure. Yeah, it's obviously they're seasonal things. But when did you know? When did you have that aha moment? Like this is something you want to do. You want to get into being a brewer.
Well, I don't know that it was necessarily an aha moment, but I had been, at this point I've been brewing for almost 20 years. Mm-hmm. So I started when I was 21 brewing, just kind of snowballed into competing regionally just around Wyoming in homebrew competitions. And I had been winning these competitions, and it got to the point where I was working for my father at his car lot. Mm-hmm. And he got to the point where he's ready to retire, and kind of gave me the, do you want to keep doing this, or do you want to do your own thing? And I thought it was time for me to step and do my own thing. So
do your own thing. And
it just all kind of happened together that the brewing equipment I bought came available, and it was up in Buffalo. So it all just happened right at the same moment, and it just kind of all came together for me.
Do you think that having that sales background, running a car lot, helped you in what you're doing today? Is that a balancing act? I
would say some. Yeah, absolutely. Because it's definitely a customer service type of business. So
yeah, you're not selling used cars, but
no, definitely. But no, there's definitely an art to selling beer also. So
for sure, and the customer service is important, and then obviously running it as a business, because you're not philanthropic. You're not trying to give stuff away. It's not a charity. It's like you have to make money. Yeah. So balancing that out with have business experience, I can imagine that probably helped a little bit. So
definitely.
What has been the biggest challenge for you over the past few years?
Oh man, we have challenges constantly. It's mechanical breakdowns, product availability. Mm-hmm. It comes down to the point where my best-selling beer, I can't get the key ingredient for it. Mm-hmm. Just so happens that they ran out, and it's going to be 3-4 weeks before they get it back, and it's going to be tight if I can get enough in time to get it out and there not be a gap there. So that's definitely the strategy of keeping things available that people are looking for.
Right. Take us back to the beginning, because you have one brew house on Burlington, and you just opened another one on 2nd Street. When did you start, and what led you to the second location?
So we opened 5 years ago. It was July 1st in 2020 actually. So that was our first location over on Beverly Street, 612 Beverly, and we originally just wanted to open and stay there. So we got it all built up, opened on right before the shutdown in 2020, and we pushed actually right through it. We were closed for about a week when it was really bad, and we opened right back up, and it was gangbusters there. And in the last year or so, we thought it was just time to find the next step, and at the downtown location
Right.
came available, and we just jumped on it.
It's an amazing location. I think it's great for the visibility. It's great for just the location. Getting people to obviously you have foot traffic there compared to off of Burlington and Beverly. So it's a great location for sure.
Definitely, it's been a great response down there. People are loving it. So
what would you attribute your success to being able to open a second business in 5 years? Because a lot of people like the 10-year mark is usually the mark where they feel a little more established. After 5 years, a second location is obviously looks great. Things are working well for you.
Oh yeah, no, things are doing great. We looked at our sales, what we thought our current brewing equipment could handle, if we could handle another location, and we're right on the razor's edge of that. But that's kind of where we were.
Right.
Thinking it was just time to look for the next opportunity, and we thought that maybe the expansion in town would be the spot to be.
Right. Right. You talk about the razor's edge, but are you referring to the number of existing craft brewers already in town?
No, I'm talking about my the equipment capacity.
Oh, yeah.
So being able to make enough to keep up still. So
got it. So you're still brewing at the Burlington location?
Yes, we're brewing at both locations. The downtown location's more of I would say a test system to test new batches, new beers. We're working on some beers down there. We brewed a few. Nothing I'm going to bring out yet, but
right.
But we're working on it down there. But most of the main brewing happens over on Beverly Street. So
got it. Yeah, I was in a couple weeks ago, and I had one. They're always amazing.
Yeah,
I couldn't tell you which one I had. You probably remember more than I do.
Oh yeah.
But which one was it?
I think you had the Backcast Brown that day.
Yeah, that sounds like yeah.
Yeah.
So what about the fact that there are so many existing breweries in town? I mean, do you think that we'll ever be at a point where we're saturated? Because there are, I think, what are you, the 9th brewery?
Downtown was the 9th one to open in Casper. So I believe we were the 4th, 3rd or 4th, and then the 9th. So there's been quite a bit of expansion over the last few years. There could possibly be a point where there's just it'll be kind of a weed the week kind of thing, but I don't foresee that happening anytime soon.
Right.
But right now it seems like everybody's doing pretty well.
Mm-hmm. I think it's I'm personally think it's a great thing, because I think we're shifting from, we talked about this before we started, recording, but shifting the culture from the tavern scene to more of a community focused scene is I think one of the main attributes of a craft brewery place.
Oh, yeah.
Not that you can't, I'm not going to, dog on the taverns and things like that, but it's different. It's clearly different.
It is completely different. And I think that is completely the culture of a brewery. I think it, in the United States anyway, they bring communities together. They bring families together. People that you wouldn't expect to be having a conversation will be talking from the bar to a table, across the room, and it's a great place for that kind of thing.
And I think the beer becomes the medium for conversation. It's not the center point. Obviously, they're drawn to go to your place as opposed to the other 8 locations. They want to go to your place on purpose for the taste of the beer.
Oh yeah.
But it becomes a means to an end. It's the conversation. It's the community that becomes the forefront. That's at least how I see it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the beer almost transcends the generations and brings them together, because I have very old Vietnam vets coming in and chatting with my 21-year-old bartender and just having great conversation, and
I love that.
It brings everybody together, and I love it.
Right, absolutely, because it goes away from how many can we drink in a 30-second 30-minute period to what's the conversation like, and you might have one or two but it's over a period of time that it's just a different focus.
I agree.
So Thanks for watching today. These podcasts are powered by PayRock, and PayRock is a payment solutions provider. We work with any size business or nonprofit, improving those payment acceptance efficiencies while reducing those overall costs. You can get a hold of me through any one of those social media channels, or you can give me a call. Let's get back to that podcast. Do you think that we'll get to a point? I think you mentioned that we'll have too many here in Casper.
It could possibly happen. I don't know of any more coming right now, but I think we're pretty solid on how many we have right now. We're actually growing at a rate faster than Colorado right now. So
Wow.
Colorado's losing breweries, and we're still seem to be gaining them. So I think eventually we'll hit that point too, just like Colorado did. It's kind of like a pendulum.
Right.
Eventually there will be enough, and they'll drop back off.
That's interesting because Colorado is the IPA. We hear it's IPA capital of the world. There's more IPA brew houses than there are, fast food places sometimes.
Agreed.
It's crazy. So
it's a lot.
Why is that? Why is it just is because it's new? It's the novelty of it. Why is it growing faster here in Wyoming?
I think that's just it. It's we tend to hit the market late for everything in Wyoming. So we get everything just a little bit later. So we follow that trend, and we also follow the downtrend. So
all right,
we'll hopefully we can stay strong here. And we've got a lot of great guys doing a lot of great things in this town. So
yeah, absolutely. For sure. What's harder, to run a profitable business or to create a good beer, to brew a good beer?
I would honestly, it's keeping it profitable. That's because I like to experiment with things that are a little bit more on the spendy side, and I kind of have to reel myself back in. So brewing the good beer has always, I don't mean to like puff my chest out, but it's always kind of come
easy,
kind of naturally for me. It's just one of those things. I just keeping the profit and keeping things going the way it needs to go has been the hard part, and especially with the expansion and watching my expenses and that kind of thing it's tough.
For sure. And it is, I think it's the focal point of a lot of small businesses in town, is keeping that eye on the needle of, yes, we have a great product, we want to have great service, but we also have to be profitable, and balancing it's a juggling act. I think that's where partnerships come into place as well, working with people, because we can't do it all alone. You have your strengths, obviously, but you need to work with a team. So
absolutely.
Has your team been growing in the last few years?
Oh yeah, no, we went from one bartender. Now we have, I believe, 5. My girlfriend has stepped in and really helped me on the business side of things and allowed me to focus more on the brewing, which has been absolutely fantastic.
That's great.
It's incredible. I have a great team in place right now. So
yeah, it's important to have those solid people that work together.
Yeah.
Was there ever a moment that you thought this is not going to work? Did that ever cross your mind?
Oh, every day, every single day. There's a point in my head where I'm thinking, why do I do this? Like when just the smallest thing happens, and I'm like, I am so tired of that happening over and over. And
yeah,
of course, but you just got to keep pushing, man. If you don't, it's what am I doing it for? So. Sure. I still love it. I still love the craft of it. I love the people. I make friends every day, and it just keeps me going, and I love it.
Yeah, we laugh at that. I laugh at the fact that you think about that every day, but the reality is, I think that is a reality for a lot of people. A lot of entrepreneurs, business owners, they doubt themselves. It's a daily thing. It happens to me like all the time. I was just talking about that just last week. It's like, or this week, it happens all the time. And people think that we're entrepreneurs. They're overnight successes, but sometimes those take years to be that success. But also just the daily choice to focus and say, we're going to get this done. We're gonna stay perseverant. It's not uncommon for entrepreneurs to doubt themselves, for sure. That's the difference, is that they do it afraid. They keep doing it despite the issues. What was the first beer? Can you remember the first beer you ever brewed? This is like when you were 21. Was it even drinkable at that time?
So yeah, the first beer I brewed actually it came from a kit that I bought from a place in Colorado. My dad was a home brewer. He was actually 1980 homebrew champion for the United States. So that I always knew he brewed, and I was always kind of interested in it. And we were down in Colorado, saw a homebrew store, bought the kit to do it, brewed it. It was actually a beer that I still put on. It's it's called El Jefe. It's just a German style hefeweizen. And I transferred that recipe into what I'm using now. Of course, it's changed over the years, but it was definitely it was my moment when I'm like, wow, this is a fun hobby. I'm going to keep trying to do this. And of course the snowball happened. Right. But
I forget if it was a movie that I watched or it was maybe another conversation with someone, but when they did the home brewing kits and their first beer was just totally undrinkable.
I hear that a lot, actually. Yeah, a lot of people do that.
Right, but if your first one is drinkable, it's obviously a good sign.
Oh yeah,
you're on the right track.
Yeah, and who knows if that first one didn't turn out, if I would still be sitting right here. So
right, that's the thing, is that we're affected by our successes and failures, and we gotta keep focused for sure. So that's great that your first one was a success.
Right.
What's the most Wyoming beer that you've ever even heard of?
Oh man, that I've heard of, that's a good question. There's not a whole lot of all Wyoming beers here. We don't grow a lot of hops around Wyoming. There's a couple of hop farms. Like I know there's one in Torrington.
Yeah,
I've used a bunch of their stuff also. Most of the Wyoming beers, I would call them, would probably be collaboration beers between Wyoming breweries. Like we've done one with Wild West and Powell, where we used all Wyoming hops, which was kind of tedious to find them, but it's great that the Wyoming breweries all get along and all work together. It's
all right.
So
do you work with? Was that your only experience working with another brewery?
As far as a collaboration, yeah, that was my only experience so far.
Got it. What on tap, right? Maybe not today, but since inception, what's been the most Wyoming one that you've ever crafted?
Oh, that's a tough one.
They're all Wyoming.
Yeah, they're all Wyoming beers. I have made a beer with all Wyoming malt and all Wyoming hops from Torrington, and it was an IPA that I made, and it was, I would say that about the most Wyoming thing I've done. All Wyoming. Other than that, the styles, Wyoming has a different look on styles, beer styles. They like their light American lagers, and they like their really dark beers. So IPAs are not quite as popular in the area, but you do have your IPA lovers. So
right, maybe the stigmatism that it's too Colorado.
That's it. Yeah,
must be. What's one beer that you'll never put on tap?
I don't know that there is one, to be honest. I was thinking about that, and I've tried everything, and I'll try everything once. So I don't think there really is, to be honest.
What is, for someone ignorant like me, what is the difference of an IPA, and because you put that in a category of itself compared to what you do?
So, I mean, IPAs they're kind of a breed of their own, I would say, because people will walk in and they'll either love an IPA or they will be like, yeah, I don't want anything that has hops in it, like that you can taste the hops.
So they're hoppier?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
So an IPA is inherently extra hoppy. Like it'll have pounds of hops compared to ounces.
Oh,
and
right.
It's one of those things. If you like bitter, or if you like more of a grassy flavor, people will tend to go to an IPA. So.
Oh, right. Okay. So the reason why I like stouts and porterhouses is probably because I don't like IPAs.
Yeah,
it's two parts of the pendulum.
Oh, you'll probably like a little bit more of the roasty notes, the chocolate, that kind of thing, and
right. Huh. Interesting. So but I think but you can find them here. Like there are some brew houses here in Casper that have the IPAs.
Oh yeah, no, and we do also. I mean, there's a big enough market to make them, of course, but
right. I
would just say that they're not quite the forefront sellers around here. So
what is your forefront seller?
My number one seller, actually since the day we've opened, is a beer we call Alpine Glow. It's a blood orange hefeweizen.
Okay.
It's an American style hefeweizen, so it doesn't have much of the banana and clove in it, but we do add a fresh blood orange puree, and it makes nice, refreshing beer for sure.
For like a summer beer.
Yeah, but it sells all year long. It's if you're in a restaurant that has our beer on tap right now, that's probably going to be the one you're going to get.
Right. And
we're also in a bunch of liquor stores with cans for that also.
Okay. It reminds me of that advertisement or that video that was online recently with this celebrity had a kind of local IPA in his hand. Yeah, so I was like, I even wondered if it was real or if it was photoshopped. I have no idea.
I have no idea also. I was going to ask them.
Yeah, me too.
But I haven't had a chance to see either.
Exactly. I haven't talked to them since, but I was going to ask them as well. What's the strangest ingredient you ever worked with?
Oh, there's been a few ingredients. None of the beers have turned out, of course, but I've used a few different things. I made a beer with garlic one time. just didn't turn out. But I've done a few with like star anise, allspice, just things that you wouldn't typically think would be in a beer, like make a winter warmer is what you're calling.
Got
at that point.
Interesting.
I've had some local or some regulars bring me in some different spices and stuff they want me to try, and just haven't found a balance on any of them yet. So
right.
But it's fun to experiment for sure.
Are you able to, when you start the process of creating a beer, does it usually turn out the way you think it's going to be? Are you that set on if I use these ingredients, it's going to taste somewhat like this?
I kind of have a base idea most of the time, especially in a brand new recipe, something I haven't done before.
Mm-hmm.
I just knowing what different malts and different hops and additives and stuff will do.
Right.
I'll have a general base knowledge of the way it should taste or the way I want it to be tasting.
Right.
But sometimes it surprises you also.
Right.
So
does our altitude and the water quality, does that change the brewing process here compared to, California for something?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Water is different everywhere. Like, right. It'll be different on this side of town compared to up by the base of the mountain. So, luckily, our water in Casper here is fairly good. Tends to be high pH, which is easy to alter, but a lot of guys will strip the water clear with reverse osmosis. I don't do a whole lot of that. I do have a couple of beers where I would like to create my own flavor profile with different minerals and salts and that kind of thing. But the water typically is pretty good around here. As far as the altitude, definitely, because our water boils a little bit lower temperature, so it also affects the extraction that we get out of a hop. So you have to definitely adjust for that. Use a little bit more, a little bit less to kind of
interesting.
Alter that.
I'm surprised that people would use reverse osmosis, because I know I'm a big coffee, coffee fan, and I know that like real coffee, not Starbucks coffee, real coffee.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of similarities in the tasting notes and the profile with a good espresso compared to a beer. There's the crossovers. It doesn't taste the same, but when you do a reverse osmosis and you remove all of the minerals and everything, the coffee's flat.
I know.
So they must have to add some minerals, because I use distilled water, or is it, distilled water. But then I add the minerals that I want, the magnesium and things like that. That's how I, brew my own, espresso at home. So you would think that if they're doing that locally, they have to add things to it.
Absolutely, yeah. If you do a reverse osmosis, you'll have to add everything back in, because
which is
you definitely do want. It definitely will affect the profile. So you can really fine tune your water at that point. I'd like I said, I minimally mess with the water around here, because it's actually, I feel like, your local water is also part of your local flavor. It will definitely change your beer to strip all that out and add your own. But I also, why am I making my water taste like New York City instead of like keeping it Wyoming?
Sure. Yeah.
I
think people don't realize that. I didn't either. I lived for a number of years in Europe, and that's where I got the acquired taste for Belgian beer, direct from the source. Went over in Belgium. But what I realized is that even soda is different, and I don't drink any soda today, but back then, I realized that here I was more of a fan for Coke, but over there Pepsi was different, because the ingredients were local, and the water was local too, and it tastes different. So yes, they have the same recipe, but how you apply that recipe with the local ingredients will radically taste the taste of the product.
Right.
So I didn't realize that until but people that always drink local beer here will they taste the difference when they go down to Colorado.
Definitely, yeah.
What's a mistake that you've ever done in the brewing process that actually turned out to be like, this is a really good one?
Okay, so mistakes hopefully come few and far between, but they do happen. I'd say the most recent one, last winter it was, I believe. I scorched a beer. I turned the heat on too high, too fast when I was transferring into my boil kettle, and as the flames were going up the side of my kettle, it scorched the beer on the side of the kettle, created like a smokiness to it, almost a smoky and a char.
Oh wow!
of course, I'm very particular about the flavors in my beer, and I transferred it over. I put my yeast in, let it start fermenting, took a sample of it, and I was ready to pour it out at that point because I'm like, it's burned, like it tastes burned to me, and luckily I had some people say just let it finish out,
right?
Just let it finish out and see what happens. It could be terrible, it could be great. So we let it finish out. I tried it. I don't mind a smoky beer, like it's not my favorite style, but we did some sampling through the tap room just to see what people thought about it, and every single person in there loved it. So we stuck with it, and it turned out to be great. And it was one actually for a good solid couple weeks. It was my number one seller. So
that's the definition of failing forward.
Yes.
Like you said, we don't strive to make mistakes, but when they do happen, some of them are actually. So have you done that one again?
I don't know that I can repeat it. That's the problem. Is
right.
I could try and scorch it on purpose, but I might over scorch it and ruin the whole batch. So we just called that one. I think we called that one Scorched Earth. Okay. And it was. I think it's going to be one of those one-off unless accident happens again. But
yeah. What's more difficult, to create a great IPA or a great lager?
I'd say definitely a lager. There's such a delicate flavor. Lagers, if you don't mash the grains right, if you don't boil long enough or too long or too short, it can create off flavors in those beers, and they're such a delicate flavor already. There's nothing to hide behind. You can't just add a bunch more hops and make it so hoppy that you can't taste that there's a little bit of an off base to it. So definitely a lager for sure.
Right. Does it take longer to make those?
Oh yeah, typically a lager will be cold conditioned 4, 8, 12 weeks before it's even put into a keg. So
all right. Okay, so what is the typical time spent to make any beer, IPA or any brew?
Typically, I would say 2 to 3 weeks from start to finish. There are yeasts out there that can crank through a beer in just a couple of days, and you could have grain to glass in 5 days. I've done a couple of those. They typically turn out pretty okay. But if you want your good solid flavors, it's going to be at least 3 weeks, up to a year. So just depends on what beer, what style, that kind of thing.
So that's the difference with a good Scotch as well, because Scotch, there's a lot of similarities with the profile as well, and looking at the different aspects of the profile, but you don't age it 30 years.
Right.
So beer is at the most 4 weeks.
Yeah, I would say a typical ale is about 3 weeks.
Okay, yeah. All right. So, what's the biggest myth in that you hear people talk about craft beer that's like not the reality at all?
Honestly, I think the biggest myth is that it's easy, because it is definitely not easy. You can ask anybody that's been doing this for a while, and we hear all the time, "Oh, I bet I could make that," and good luck. It's very very difficult to get into this and get to a place where you can serve beer to a community and have them like it. It's because I've definitely been to breweries, actually not around here, but on my travels that I've left a beer sitting, and I rarely do that. So
all right, that bad.
Yeah, and usually it's a brand new place, and that's a hard thing too. Is getting, when you're new into the large scale brewing, getting your things set up correctly. And
right. I guess it goes back to why you're drinking it. So, because that's happened to me too, where I've had one out of state, and it's like, no, I'm not going to finish this, and it's a waste of money. But still, the point is to enjoy it.
Exactly.
Not just to down it as quick as possible.
Nope. That's craft beer. It's the difference between us and somebody like the Anheuser-Busch or Coors, and
right.
They make beer to drink beer.
Yeah.
We make beer for flavor and community, honestly. So
it's a different world when you see them coming out of convenience stores with a 24, I don't even know how they 24 pack or whatever it is, and it's
I mean,
it's an evening.
There definitely is time for that kind of beer too. Like to be honest, I've got some in my fridge at home. So there's times where you just need a beer, and especially when it's hot and you're mowing the lawn, and a 13% stout just doesn't hit the spot at that point. So
that's true.
So yeah, no, it's definitely what we like to refer to it as water beer.
Right.
Something you can hydrate with almost. So
exactly. They say that in Europe is that it's better for hydration than even water.
Yeah.
That's what they say. It's obviously sarcasm, but craft breweries in general are and yours in particular, like the other 8, are becoming community hubs here in town. How do you think that you're adding to the Casper culture, your brew house?
Well, like we've always been a family friendly first. We always welcome in families, because I think that's very important, just because the fact that everybody has a family these days. And if you want to go out for a beer just to relax for a few minutes and you don't really have anybody for the kids, bring them along. Like we try and set up an environment it is still a bar, but we also want to include your family. We over on our Beverly Street location, we've got some patio games out on the patio. Downtown, we're working on setting up an arcade in the back, some old school video games and claw machines, that kind of thing. But we just want to have the inclusiveness. We like bringing families together, bringing people together. So that's
all right.
That's what we do.
Yeah, I think that's. I do. To be honest, I did record a podcast a few months ago with another brew house, and online on YouTube particularly, that I got a lot of pushback. People don't like the fact that they're open to families.
Yeah.
And I thought that was, I can understand where they're coming from, but I think you need to experience it, because it's not like walking into a tavern.
No, it's definitely not. Like our breweries, we do like to have families. We do request that they keep their children in check, because it is still a quote unquote bar.
Yeah.
But for the most part, everybody does. So we do have places in town. If you want to go get a beer and not be around younger children or children at all, you can go do that. But we like to create a community.
Right. Absolutely. Do you see that, what's on the horizon for, next 5 years for your brew house? Do you have any more expansion? Because you're the first one in Casper that, as far as I know, that has 2 locations. No, actually, there's another one.
Yeah, there's another one.
But there's only 2 that have multiple locations.
For sure. So this 5-year mark hit us, and with this expansion, it actually came faster than we were expecting. So in the next 5 years, I would like for sure to be expanded in my brewing capabilities. I'd like to be in more restaurants, more liquor stores around town, and then from there, who knows? It'd be amazing to be through the state, but that's a big ask. So.
It is, and it's a lot of work.
Yes.
It's a lot of work, and I think, 2 locations in one city is already a lot of work.
It is, that's for sure.
But branching out, maybe you can branch out to, Evansville.
Yeah, no, we've been getting a lot of requests from surrounding areas. There's a guy in Lander that's been calling me almost weekly, trying to, when can I get your cans up here? And well, how am I going to get them there? I'm already so busy, and Douglas and Wheatland, they're all calling me also. So it's a lot easier said than done. It is.
I had the same conversation with Amber over at Backwards, and people would like their beer in different states, or not beer, their products in different states. But it's not that easy.
It's really not.
You have to work with distributors. You have to pay for the distributor license. There's some red tape to it. It's not just it would be much faster to drive it to them.
That's just it. And luckily with microbreweries, we have the option for self-distribution. So most of us little guys will go with that route, like I do around town. I self-distribute. So one day in my week is going around making sure everybody has the product they need. Once you get to the point where you're going to different towns and stuff, driving there is kind of becomes a difficulty. So that's when the distributors come into play. So
right, yeah, it's definitely with the larger the business grows, the more headaches, or the more just things that are involved. It's everyone thinks, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Well, why don't you do it for me?
Right.
But If you could say one thing to the community that you're trying to serve here in Casper, what would you like to tell them that's unique about your brew house?
Oh, let's see. I'd say that what makes us a little bit more unique is I think our brewing style. My brewing style is definitely unique compared to everybody else's. I like a little bit more subtle flavors. I do have those beers that'll hit you in the face, but I'd definitely say that we like to bring the unique, the new unique beers, things that you don't normally see around the area. So
just one more time, where can we find you? Where are your locations?
We have our original location at 612 North Beverly Street, and we are now downtown at 101 East 2nd Street.
Right on 2nd Street, across the street from Chosen Frozen or whatever
Yep,
that is.
Chosen Yogurt and the Rialto.
Awesome.
Yep.
Great. Well, Eric, thanks for spending some time with us today.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it, and we'll see this one when it hits the airwaves in a few weeks.
Awesome.
So, cool.
Thank you very much.